Hey, welcome back. So let's get nice, comfy, cozy in here and let's talk about sex. Okay, so recently I told a guy that I was having casual sex in my 20s as a way to protect myself. And he goes, "What do you mean by that exactly, though?" Because I have female friends and they've told me that, they have sex for validation, they have sex just because they want to, they have sex because they think it's going to get the guy to choose them, like them more, whatever the case. What do you mean by you had sex to protect your feelings? It's a complicated question. It's actually not that complicated. And the answer is not that complicated. It's actually quite basic, a very basic question. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to dial it all the way back to when I was 18. So I lost my virginity at 18 years old, which is great looking back. Like, I wasn't 13, 14 having sex. Like, I wasn't a baby having sex. I was a full legal adult, 18 years old. I had sex for the first time with my best friend's boyfriend's best friend out of curiosity. Why out of curiosity? Well, all of my friends had been in relationships throughout high school. And I hadn't. I kissed a boy one time when I was 15 and then maybe another one at 17. I was very, very scared of boys, very, very timid, very, very quiet. I mean, I was basically like the shadow of my friends. When I was with my friends, of course, I'm a different person. But when we were around other people, I was so scared. I was so scared of being judged, of saying the wrong thing, sounding stupid, not being cool. So I stayed very, very quiet. And so all of my friends, very outgoing women, all had boyfriends. They were all having sex. So at 18, I was like, you know what? I'm curious. I went to Catholic school. We were never taught. This was not a conversation that you had with your parents. It just wasn't. I didn't even know how the act happened. I didn't even know how the act happened. So out of curiosity at 18, I lost my virginity to him. And, it was fine. I didn't feel anything. I wasn't then emotionally attached to him because I wasn't even really that attracted to him, to be honest with you. He had a lot of acne. I mean, we were teenagers back then, so we all had something going on. But I never was attracted to him, so I never felt attached to him. And then I kind of thought to myself, maybe that's what it is. Maybe in order to be a part of this world with my friends, I should detach myself. Because I knew deep down that I was a lover. I wanted love. I wanted marriage. I dreamed the dreams of like this Cinderella love story. I knew that deep down I had a lot of passion. But I also felt like I was never going to get that. I was too scared of boys. I was too timid. I was scared of rejection. So how do you not get rejected? You act like one of the boys, right? You just have sex with no strings attached, no emotions. They're not getting attached. I'm not getting attached. So nobody's getting hurt. But I'm still in it with my friends. And it sounds so stupid, right? Like I want to be part of the crowd that's having sex because this is the height of everybody having casual sex. This is when it became like such a thing. And I was going to be that cool girl that was not emotionally attached. I was going to do it like the boys and see ya, be done. So I was having sex casually to protect myself from dating, to be rejected, like the actual dating part, going on dates, meeting people, developing feelings. All of that was so scary to me. So unbelievably scary. It was a lot less scary to just sleep with a boy, and have casual flings than it was to get asked out on a date or put yourself out there. Like that was way worse. And there was no Bumble. Like there was none of that. It was like dating apps. You had to go out into the world and meet people, and that was tough. But if you fast forward it to a couple of years later when I'm 20, I meet this guy who's 30. Yeah, I know, he's a little older. I wasn't, once again, not super attracted to him, but I admired who he was. He was in school getting his PhD. He was studying like a specific gene in a specific family to see if there was a pattern for autism. He spun fire. He had blue hair. He was very passionate. And I liked that he was just so different from anybody else that I met. So we started to become intimate, right? We started having sex. And he goes, Tiffany, you need to loosen up. You need to give yourself to me. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, I can feel your disconnection. He could feel my energy. And he was much more of like a tantric lover. Everything was full of passion and connection and the height of the buildup. And he introduced me to a piece that I was missing. Passion. I had no passion in my sex life whatsoever, and he introduced that to me, and it was the best 8 months ever. When it ended, I was not, it was whatever. I mean, I wasn't attracted to him. He was 30, I was 20, but he showed me something. He showed me what sex could be. But then I started dating guys my age, and there was no passion, there was no lust. Everything was just get in, get out, get it done. And I just was back to my shut it all off. Let's do this because, we want to be part of it. We want to date. I didn't know, honestly, I don't think I even knew how to date any differently at this point. I dated a guy, for 4 years, and I fell like madly in love with him. He was not. So we didn't have sex the way that I was ready to and wanting to. So once again, everything just shut off. And then I decided, after all of these years, what am I doing? I'm a lover. I love passion. I want marriage. I want the deep connection. I want that soul connecting, love making, dare I say, making love. But that's what I want. And I decided, after all those years of not being true to who I was, that I was going to be true to who I was. A passionate, emotional person who is filled with, I'm going to cling on to ya, right? That's what I want. And once I stopped rejecting, or once I started to reject the old me, that was the fake me, I started to become happier. The anxiety went away. I'm being more true to myself, and I'm celibate, and I am waiting for love. For the first time, and it sounds crazy, I've never made love with somebody that where we both equally loved each other. Because it's either I loved somebody or they loved me, and it just never was equal. So I never got that. And that's what I want. And I'm going to stay true to myself. And since I've been staying true to myself, that has been the best thing. I don't need to protect who I am. I need to embrace who I am because I'm a lover. I'm a passionate lover. And I want to be that. So no more fake me. We're doing this. We're doing this. And it's been the best decision. So having sex to protect my feelings, my emotional feelings, was a terrible idea. The best idea came a little later in life, and that's fine. But now we got to learn how to date. And that's why I have my dating series, because I am now older, learning how to date. I'm just doing things a little backwards and a little later in life, but we're going to get there. And we're in no rush. We're in no rush. My lover, he will come when the time is right. If I'm 60 and he comes, he's 60. And in between that, I will fulfill my life in every way possible, and I'll never feel lonely. There's so many other ways to fulfill your life, but that is my story for now. So come back next time and we will have another juicy sex story for you.